Before we get started, I just wanted to once again say thank you to all of you, my awesome viewers, subscribers, fans, members, super chat heroes, mods. You all are awesome. You're the reason why the channel is at over 11,000 subscribers now and continuing to grow. And without you all, I wouldn't be where I am right now. So thank you so much to all of you for doing what you do. And with that out of the way, let's get to it, shall we? Q&A 11K. YouTube changed it from 1,000 to K, so that's why I changed it. Plus, I made a logo. Whoop-de-doo. All right, so let's get to your questions. First off, we are going to go with the community tab, and then we'll move over to Discord. Carlos, hello, Carlos. Will you do a follow-up video on the one you made for the petition for change for the Reddit Online? I may do a follow-up, Carlos, after the fact, after it's said and done, determining whether or not Rockstar actually does something or responds to it. So, not anytime soon, Carlos, but I may very well do a follow-up to the petition. But if you guys haven't had a chance to do so yet, check out my petition video. The petition itself is linked below in the description section of that video if you want to know more about it. And also, thank you so much to everybody in the Reddit Online community that has taken the time to sign and share the petition, as well as fellow Red Dead Online content creators. Let's see, Red Dead, your mom. Let's see, do you think that there's any chance at all for story mode DLC in the future? Of course, after Online's bugs are fixed and the new content is added. There is always a hope, Red Dead, even though Rockstar officially months ago said that that was not part of the plan. A lot of us are hoping that the leaked information regarding Red Dead Redemption 1 Remaster, packaged as a story DLC for Red Dead Redemption 2, also serving as a Mexico expansion for Red Dead Online, might be a thing because the 10-year anniversary of Red Dead Redemption 1 is coming up in May, and not so many people got to play Red Dead Redemption 1, and there are a lot of players out there that just came into Red Dead through Red Dead Redemption 2 and are also interested in continuing John Marston's story. So definitely hoping that Rockstar has that in the works at the very least. I know some of us also want an Undead Nightmare 2 or something like that for Red Dead Redemption 2, but I do feel like for the most part Rockstar's focus is going to be online content, whether it's Red Dead Online or Grand Theft Auto Online. But I agree that their top priority should be fixing the bugs, glitches, and all the other issues currently plaguing the game. Mike, hey GB, congrats on hitting 11,000 subs. Thank you, Mike. My question, besides YouTube, what else do you do to earn a living? Other jobs, work, etc. And I was once in radio. I've mentioned that a time or two back in the day. And unfortunately, because of the radio industry and so many issues that have happened, corporatization, downsizing, as well as automation in the radio industry, so many issues have transpired to make it very difficult for people to find jobs in radio. And at the time when I left radio, I only had like 5 years of experience in radio. And I had been in several markets, and I'd gone from being like a part-timer, doing weekend overnights and working in the promotions department, to eventually doing nights and being a music director for a rock station, as well as a midday personality for an alternative rock station. But despite all the experience I'd gained in production, as well as promotions and programming and radio, plus being an on-air talent, it was still very difficult for me to find a job after I got out of my previous job. And because there were so many people that were out there unemployed, and that's still the case now, that had way more experience than me at the time and also had way more connections. So unfortunately, radio is far behind me, but I made some really good friends in radio, and I gained a lot of experience that I've kind of carried over into YouTube. Let's see, CNO, great idea you had for the different lobbies. Thank you, CNO. Let's see, Shahab, hello Shahab, how's it going? Best game you've ever played, not including Red Dead Redemption 2. Okay, Shahab. The best game I ever played. See, that's a tough question because I've played so many games in my lifetime. I've been a lifelong gamer since I was a kid. And my grandfather, who was also a gamer, he loved playing like cards, like poker, see, as well as blackjack. And he also loved playing like board games like checkers, chess. And he was also a gamer. He actually had an Intellivision back in the day. And Intellivision was the competitor of Atari in the, I guess you could say, the very first console war. Atari kind of won that one. But, you know, I've been a gamer ever since then. And so many games. I can name a list of games that I've loved, like the Mario series, Legend of Zelda, all the Grand Theft Autos, even back in the top-down era from like the original PlayStation, the Grand Theft Auto 3D eras, like Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas. I loved them, but I would say that the Grand Theft Auto controls and graphics have gotten considerably better. A lot of it is now nostalgia, going back and trying to play those games again. Red Dead Redemption 1 was a fantastic game. I loved that. Overlord, I absolutely loved Overlord back in the day. The GeauxBurns video game, which I consider to be the, I guess you could say, spiritual third movie, even though we do have an official third GeauxBurns movie coming out, Afterlife, this summer, I think. I'm looking forward to it. But I could just go on and on. I mean, there's RTS games I loved. I was a fan of the Diablo series. I loved KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic. Great gameplay, great story, because I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. I'm a nerd of a lot of things. Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who, Battlestar Galactica. That list goes on and on. But yeah, I can't really name a best game because I've played so many different games, different IPs, different types of games in my lifetime. So it's really hard to pick one, and it really just depends on my mood. I mean, over the past few years, I've been kind of into like sandbox open world games more than RTSs. I used to love RTSs, or, you know, turn-based strategy, like SimCity, or The Sims. I'm gonna probably get Sims 4 on PS Plus in a few days whenever it becomes available for free. That'll be fun. But sorry, I couldn't completely answer your question. But there's so many games out there, and so many of them were great. Like, I guess you could say Red Dead Redemption 1 is my favorite, right beside Red Dead Redemption 2. I guess if you guys want an answer, I loved it. You know, I like John Marston. He's a great protagonist. Arthur Morgan, a close second in my opinion. But as a Western fan, also sci-fi fan, but as a Western fan, I really did love the story and, you know, playing in Red Dead Redemption 1. So, anyways, moving on to Scott. Have you ever been griefed by other players in Red Dead? Seriously, Scott? Dude, I get griefed a lot. The griefing cancer, unfortunately, is on the rise in Red Dead Online. And the truth is, any online game you play that has the ability for PvP, usually you'll end up getting griefed sooner or later. It's not as bad in Red Dead Online as it is in, say, Grand Theft Auto Online, but I have noticed over the past several weeks it's gotten worse. I would say that 3 out of 4 of my Xbox One live streams had a bit of griefer cancer in it. So, yeah, there's been some griefing that I have seen and witnessed, and yeah, it has happened to me numerous times, Scott. But it's just, I guess it's par for the course when it comes to an online game. Let's see, Karunzi, let's see, what are your plans for the channel in 2020? I mean, what new games will we be covering this year? Karunzi, that's a very good question. I really don't know at the moment. I mean, I guess I'll just continue doing what I'm doing right now. Playing Red Dead Online, covering the event weeks for Red Dead Online, as well as Grand Theft Auto Online. And whenever there's updates that come out, you know, continuing doing day one updates, live streams in the mornings. Early in the morning, obviously, for Grand Theft Auto Online. And whenever the update drops for Red Dead Online. I'm guessing the next Red Dead Online update will probably be sometime in March, sometime after Outlaw Pass 2 officially expires, when it reaches its deadline. Other than that, I hear rumors that, let's see, WB Montreal might be working on a new Batman Arkham game. I'm a huge Batman fan also, so yes, I like comics as well. And I might just have to play Batman Arkham. But I also have my Twitch channel I'm trying to start up again and do like non-Red Dead, non-GTA stuff on there. And speaking of PlayStation Plus, I just recently downloaded Goat Simulator. I've been having fun playing that just for fun. I mean, that's basically what it is, just a silly open world sandbox game. And I've been thinking about doing like a stream there with on Twitch playing some Goat Sim, and maybe that's where I should put any other games besides Red Dead and GTA because of the YouTube algorithm. But other than that, I was kind of interested in Cyberpunk 2077, like so many of you are. But, it's been delayed till September. I think September 17th, which is the anniversary of Grand Theft Auto 5. It's also Constitution Day in America because I'm a history buff. Yes, another thing you now know about me, if you didn't know so already. So at the moment, just doing what we're doing right now. Just staying the course. And if any other games of interest come up that fit the channel, like maybe there's going to be news about, rumors of Mafia 2 remaster, possibly Mafia 4 in the works. I'm also a fan of the Mafia franchise. It's part of the Trinity. You have Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead, and Mafia. That's technically the Trinity of my channel, FYI. Let's see, Ferrari Taco, ever thought about doing a scary game series for a few videos? Would be hilarious. I guess, Ferrari Taco, you're not referring to games like Dead by Daylight or Friday the 13th. I do have videos, I do have playlists from some streams and some content I've made. But scary games like Five Nights at Freddy's, those games have kind of gone out of style. And a lot of that's just for like cheap jump scares, and it's been kind of overdone. And as I mentioned a moment ago about the YouTube algorithm, as a content creator and streamer, we get punished by the algorithm whenever we try to deviate from the algorithm. As much as I would love to put other content on the channel, even knowing that it wouldn't get as many views as my Red Dead Online content, that's only part of it. The other part is the fact that the algorithm would punish me for doing so. So I always have to be concerned about that issue. Like, is this game that I'm going to put on the channel going to hurt me, when it comes to the algorithm? So, yeah, I don't know if I'll do any scary games, but you can always go back and look in the playlist for Dead by Daylight and Friday the 13th, because I used to do some of that content as well on the channel. Just a little something I do on the side. Plus, every now and then, I still will play Dead by Daylight with some of my friends like Shotgun Mark, Lark, and a few others. And whenever I do and they happen to be streaming, I'll usually promote them via my community tab, as well as Twitter, Facebook, and the Discord community. Let's see. Hello, No. How's it going? Do you like console gaming more than PC gaming? There was a time, No, whenever I could say I was 50-50. Like the 90s, I was really into PC gaming, like Star Wars PC games. During the golden age of LucasArts, like Star Wars TIE Fighter, Dark Forces, for example. But I've always liked consoles like I mentioned in television, the original Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, the N64 in the 90s, like with Pod Racer. But PC gaming, also loved, like I mentioned a moment ago, the original Diablo, Diablo 2. I played the hell out of Diablo 2. A lot of RTS games as well as other games too. So I could say that lately it seems like I'm more into console gaming because I do spend a lot of time on my PS4 and Xbox One. But I also spend some time on my PC as well, playing Dead by Daylight with friends as well as Red Dead Online on PC. Let's see. Tom says, sorry, I'll be at the Super Bowl. So Tom, how was the Super Bowl? Did you enjoy it? Go Dallas Texans. I mean, Kansas City Chiefs. Originally, they were the Dallas Texans. But congrats to the Kansas City Chiefs, winners of the Super Bowl. They finally got a Super Bowl. And no, President Trump, Kansas City is not in Kansas. Okay, let us move on now to Discord. Destiny Foxy. Okay, my question is, if you could have anything in the world, what would it be? And congrats on 11K subs, by the way. Thank you, Destiny Foxy. If I could have anything in the world, what would it be? I wish I had love. I wish I had somebody special in my life. I guess it's the one thing that I want. I feel like I have everything else, or I'm working on everything else, working on losing weight, getting healthier, trying to. The channel is going well. We're growing an awesome community, and I'm very happy about that. I have other things going okay. There's always stuff that you're trying to get done, and it's never, the mission is never finished. It just keeps going and going. But I guess if there's one thing that I wish I did have, and since I guess it's appropriate because Valentine's is upon us, or for the rest of us, Singles Awareness Day, I I wish I had somebody. I guess reaching the twilight of my 30s, at the same time, I don't want someone like Amber Heard. No thanks. And, I've been in a few bad relationships. I've also been in a few good ones, and I don't claim to be the victim. I mean, I've made my own share of mistakes, but at the same time, I would very much like to find somebody special, somebody right for me, somebody that I'm right for. Because I feel like a lot of us are wired to want to have somebody in our lives to meet and, eventually build a future with, fall in love with, go forward with. So I guess if I could have anything, that would be it. But it would definitely have to be with the right person. I've gotten this far being single. And as I always like to say, it does suck at times being single, but there are worse alternatives than being single, like a bad relationship or a miserable marriage or being divorced and having to pay alimony and all that nonsense. So it's all about grass being greener on the other side, right? Let's see, Kane. Hello, Kane. First of all, congrats on 11K, my dude. Well, thank you very much, Kane. I know, Kane, you'll get there one day. You got over 500 subs now, so you worked hard for that 500 subs. Keep on trucking. You got a very good community forming around you as well of your GTA live streams. Let's see, I still remember when you were at 3,000. Let's see, my God, how time flies. Yeah, time definitely does fly, Kane. And now that you're an adult, you're going to see it flying. Oh, yes. When I was your age, I didn't believe the adults when they told me that time was going to start flying by once I reached adulthood. Yeah, they were right. Or else that black hole theory is correct. I doubt that, though. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, plug the latest vlogs video over on the vlogs channel. Let's see. Now the road to 12,000 begins. My question for you, GB, is this. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? Once again, congrats on 11K. Thank you very much, Kane. And thank you to everybody that has wished me congrats. It's all because of you all that have helped get me this far. I have always wanted telekinetic powers. That would be freaking awesome. The ability to, lift things with your mind or bring things to you or mentally throw things at people. I would never do that. No, not me, but yeah. I think if I had to pick a superpower, it would be TK powers, I think it would be cool to have telekinetic powers, but I guess you would have to learn to control them because it could get out of hand and you could find yourself like unintentionally like throwing shit at people or dropping stuff or knocking things over with your mind. So I guess it would be kind of a blessing and a curse. So maybe it's for the best that I don't have those powers. Archangel, hello Archangel. Besides family, who is the one person that made you the most happy that you wish you could see again from your past or go back in time and see them again? That is a very good question, Archangel. The one person that made me the most happy and I wish I could see again. Well, that's a toughie because, as you get older, some of you are going to learn this if you haven't already, that there are people that come into your life that make you happy and things don't work out and, they end up either, they move on and you never see them again. But then there's also other people like, friends, family that you lose along the way. And, you hope you get to see them again in the next life. But at the same time, it's a very tough thing. Because whether it's an ex-girlfriend or it's somebody that was your friend and you're a family member that made you happy, it's hard. It's really hard because you often look back fondly at, say, let's just go with an ex-girlfriend, okay? I'm not going to name one specifically, but if I could, I had not all of them. Most of them I'm happy never to see again. But I would say that there's at least one that I do think about and I do look back upon. And, I wish things would have ended better between us. And I accept responsibility for that. I mean, it was a summer fling. And I think I underestimated that, she also had feelings for me. And I had feelings for her too, but she was going back to college and, it was a long distance thing that was going to transpire. And I felt like at the time that it was for the best just to try and just end things. And sometimes I feel like I could have done things differently, but I also believe that everything happens as it's meant to, the good and the bad. And, what she and I had, you know, was meant to last as long as it did. And even though it was good, that was it, you know. And the best thing to do is move forward. And hopefully I will find the right one for me if that's meant to be. Let's see. Moving on next to UG Outlaw. First off, congrats on 11K. Now my question is, could you name some of the videos you've made that you're the most proud of? Well, that's a good one, UG. First off, congrats, UG. He's about, I think, a month away from the big I do. Congrats to UG and Gina. I hope you guys have a very happy life together. So, videos that I'm proud of. I don't know. I mean, I've always been very self-critical. And I'm, at the same time, not ashamed of the content I make, because I feel like that even though some of it quality-wise wasn't as good as it is now, and, you know, I started off with like a cheap microphone, and the thumbnails weren't the best, so I have improved. I've come a long ways over the past nearly 6 years, because the 6-year anniversary for this channel will be coming up in March. But videos that I'm proud of, I guess videos that have informed people, videos that have helped people. Case in point, I guess, the Beginner's Guide video, because I've had so many people leave comments on my Red Dead Online Beginner's Guide video, besides the ones that say I'm Tom Hanks. Thanks, by the way. Those comments that, you know, tell me that I actually helped them. You know, those comments mean a lot to me. You know, for new players coming in, looking for help, not knowing what the hell's going on, and that's why I made the video. And I'm very grateful and very humbled by the fact that it actually did, you know, and fulfilled its purpose. And that's why I did these guides, was to help players in the Red Dead Online community. And I also get comments on my Grand Theft Auto Online protagonist backstory video. And some of you want me to do like a sequel of that regarding Red Dead Online characters. And we may actually do that. It's something I've been seriously thinking about. But I still get people to leave comments in that video, you know, with their own backstory of their own Grand Theft Auto Online character. And it's always cool to read those comments and see what everybody comes up with. So I'm proud of that. I'm proud of earlier content, like with the Stallion. When the Stallion came out, you couldn't pick which roof to get on the Stallion in Grand Theft Auto Online. And a lot of us that were old school Grand Theft Auto fans, you know, were excited to get the Stallion in the game because it was such an iconic car. But there were so many players that wanted to have a certain type of roof, whether it was a hard top or a soft top or a convertible. And there was a time when you really couldn't pick which roof you wanted. So the videos I made, and I'm not trying to flex here, but I do sincerely believe that those videos, along with the views from everybody that also wanted you know, options when it came to the Stallion, actually reached Rockstar, and they went back and they changed it to where you actually had roof options for the Stallion. So I'm definitely proud of those videos that I have mentioned for various reasons. And there's probably a few more out there, but there's no need to go on any further with this one. Let's see. Tank Engine Jr. Hello, Tank. Congrats on 11K, dude. Let's see. My question is, if you got transported into the world of GTA or Red Dead, which one you survived longer in? Probably neither. Have you seen those worlds? They're not safe. And I also guess I'd have to guess, like, where exactly would I be transported to? I mean, for Grand Theft Auto, I guess maybe Paleto Bay I'd want to live in. I mean, it's not... I mean, sometimes destruction happens up there, but I think if I had to pick a location to live, whether it's maybe Chumash. You know, Chumash, not much happens in Chumash. So maybe Chumash. Plus, it's like, it has a nice view of the ocean, right? So I guess GTA Online and Chumash as opposed to Paleto Bay. Paleto Bay is all right, but I feel like most people are just driving through Chumash on the GOH. Red Dead, I probably wouldn't want to live in Red Dead because, you know, 1890s, not the same creature comforts as what we have today. So at least in Grand Theft Auto Online, you still have what, internet? Well, GTA's internet, GTA's TV shows, even though it's the same shows over and over again, and the same radio stations and the same music over and over again, until Rockstar adds a new station, of course, every now and then. But yeah, I think I'd rather be in Grand Theft Auto Online, and I'll just chill in one of the beach houses in Chumash. I think I'd be okay. At least I think I would survive a little bit longer than trying to survive in Red Dead Online's world. Let's see, Sedan, congrats on 11K. Thank you, Sedan, and thank you, of course, to Tank. Continuing with Sedan's question, if you could have 11,000 of anything other than subs or money, what would you choose? 11,000 of anything than subs or money. What would I choose? So I guess that rules out gold and silver, right? Because technically gold and silver would be money. So I guess I can't do that. 11,000 of something. This is a good one. What would be a good thing? So what if it's like 11,000 like collectibles, like 11,000 like items that would actually be worth money? Or would that count, or would that be a loophole? I don't know. But that's a lot of stuff, though, Sedan. I mean, that's 11,000 things I have to put somewhere. And in my house, I have too much crap already that I need to either A, sell, or throw away, or give away. Because I would like to eventually move to Central Texas to be closer to my sisters. But I think the obvious answer would be money. But since you scratched that off the list, I guess 11,000 years. Okay, I want 11,000 years. Okay, give me 11,000 year lifespan where I don't age any further. There we go. I remain this age and maybe a little bit better shape. You know, just to drop a few pounds, healthy, and live 11,000 more years. I'm sure long before I reach 11,000, the world will either be a wasteland because of humans, or B, there won't be a world left at all. So I'll be sitting in the vacuum of space for 11,000 years before it finally ends for me. All right, moving on next to Brian. Hello, Brian. Congrats, GB, on 11K. Thank you, Brian. My question is, if you could live in a cinematic universe, which cinematic universe would you want to live in? Okay, so I guess this is similar to Red Dead Online or Grand Theft Auto Online, but like movies, cinema. This is a cool one. I would like to live in the Star Wars universe. I would. Maybe like post Return of the Jedi, but like during the time, I guess, of Mandalorian, right? When you have the core worlds are under the New Republic, and you have remnants of the Empire still scurrying about the place, and the First Order is still like far off in the future. So yeah, just to answer the question real quickly, I would like to live in the Star Wars universe. Whether or not I have force powers or not, or force sensitive, or just happen to stumble across a lightsaber and my own ship that can go to light speed, that would be cool. I would like that as well. And a nice, lovely Twi'lek at my side. All right, Akeem, what's up, Akeem? How's it going? Which other country would you want to live in, and why? There's a lot of these questions about, like, where would I want to live? Grand Theft Auto Online, or what cinematic universe, or what other country? I think just to rush through these, because we're going on nearly 30 minutes, but I've been enjoying these questions so far. Thank you so much for the questions, by the way, guys. I guess Canada, because Canada's like right north of the border, and I have friends up in Canada, like Azulin, a few others as well. Does Tank count as a friend? Or frenemy? Yes, a frenemy. So a lot of you seem to be good folks up in Canada, and Canada is very similar to the U.S., so it probably wouldn't be too much of a culture shock for me. I would like to eventually travel and see other parts of the world. I'd like to go to the Caribbeans, like you mentioned with the Jamaican flag, which is what the GeauxBurns nation flag is actually based off. It's just recolored the Jamaican flag, the Scottish flag, same flag. But yeah, I like Jamaica. I'd like to go maybe hang out with Riley in Puerto Rico, go check out Kane and friends in the UK, now that it's EU free. I don't know how that's going to work out for the UK, but it is what it is. Go down to Cardiff, Wales, go check out Stonehenge, Dover, maybe venture around certain parts of London, historical areas. Go up to Manchester, hang out with Manchester United, go up into Scotland, where I guess the Burns family is from, I think, because I'm Scotch-Irish. And, go check out parts of Europe, parts of Asia, stay away from China because of communism and the coronavirus. But, I would like to explore and see the world. Not every part of the world, because some parts are more dangerous than others. But I guess if I had to live in another country, I guess I would probably pick Canada. Let's see, Riley. Hey, Riley, how's it going? My question, what one thing would you love to see removed in Grand Theft Auto Online and Red Dead Online for good, and why? All right, so I guess one thing from each you're asking, because there's no and or are. So we'll just do one of each, okay, Riley? How's that sound? I think my one answer for Grand Theft Auto Online would probably be the orbital cannon, because I don't think that they should have ever added that as a thing for players to be able to purchase in Grand Theft Auto Online. I know some of you are probably like, well, what about the broomstick? Well, Rockstar has nerfed the broomstick a little bit in the most recent update. And they're always going to add future vehicles that probably will end up becoming more OP than the broomstick, aka the Oppressor Mark II. Riley and I just love that thing, but yeah, I'd probably say the orbital cannon. Red Dead Online, what would I like to see removed? I would like to see all the issues in the game removed so we could actually play the damn game and have animals spawn all over the place and actually have the camp pitch and defensive mode to actually work properly. Not the way it currently does. And, you know, lobbies. I know that's more than one thing. Okay. All right, moving on to JT Max. Hey, JT. If you could choose any game to get a single-player DLC, what would it be? Okay, you know what? I'm going to go with the safe answer here. The answer a lot of you will probably want and say Red Dead Redemption 2. Because so many of you, including myself, would love a single-player DLC. Whether it's revolved around like a repackaged remaster, remake of Red Dead Redemption 1, like we mentioned a few minutes ago. Or perhaps a single-player DLC revolved around some of the other characters. Like maybe like a Sadie DLC or a Charles Smith DLC. Those would be pretty cool story DLCs. So yeah, something single player DLC for Red Dead Redemption 2, or also like a variation of Undead Nightmare, maybe with aliens. Cowboys versus aliens, like a story DLC. Like that'd be kind of cool as well. So yeah, I think that's easy enough. But King Easy, how's it going, King Easy? Actually, let me skip over King Easy, and then we'll come back to you, King. So, un momento. Let's see, Goat, your favorite video game. I think we kind of went over that a few minutes ago, Goat. So, yeah, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, sorry, Goat, but, yeah, kind of a long list. So, hopefully that kind of sort of answered your question. Now, back to King Easy. Do you have any tips on how to help someone with depression? Now, I do deal with a degree of depression, and it sucks. It's hard sometimes. And I would say my depression's not as bad as other people out there. My advice for people that have to deal with depression, speaking as somebody that does get depressed about things, because I can be my own worst critic. There are times when things don't go my way, and I can be too hard on myself. I can blame myself. I can demonize myself. And, it's very easy to beat yourself up. And, that's gets you down there in the deep doldrums of depression. What I do to help get me out of depression is find some sort of escape, I guess. Whether it's playing a video game for a little while or watching a movie that I really love, like Ghostbusters, the Back to the Future trilogies, the original trilogy of Star Wars. Just doing something to get my mind off things. Taking a hot shower helps, or petting one of my cats, or going outside and spending some time with my dog. I don't spend enough time with him, so I do try to spend, some time with him whenever the weather's right. Go for a walk, or go for a drive. And I try to think about the positive things, because we can so easily focus on the negative, like the negative in our lives, the negative in the world. And there's a lot of bad things that are going on in the world right now, and that's nothing new. But there's also good things. There's also things to be happy about, like the fact that we do have this beautiful blue planet to call home, that you do have people in your life that probably care about you, like family, friends, and we all probably have things that put a smile on our face, whether it's something as simple as a nice sunny day or, music. That's another thing I'll do. If I really want to cheer myself up, I'll just start playing some music, and before I know it, I'm singing along. I'm terrible at singing, but I still do it, so, music helps. You just got to find things that help, lighten you up a little bit. And a lot of times it's just as simple as just trying to get you less depressed than you are, getting you a step higher than you currently are. And, just taking it one day at a time, just taking it one day at a time. Focus on the positive. Try and get yourself out of that hole slowly but surely. Rome wasn't built in a day, and you can't get out of the hole in one attempt. It's steps. Sometimes one step forward, one step backwards, sometimes two step backwards. But the thing to do is to always focus on the positive. Focus on the things you are accomplishing, and recognize that the mission is never over. It just keeps going no matter what. And there are times, like especially during Valentine's season, it's easy for somebody that's single to be depressed because you see it in the commercials, right? Of all these happy couples following in love, and we're wired to where we want that, Not everybody, but some of us want to have somebody special in our lives. We all want purpose and meaning and reason for the season, and it can be a struggle sometimes. And all too often I find myself wondering, like, what am I supposed to do here? What is my purpose? What is my reason for being? Like, why am I here? Why are you here? And the only answer I can come up with is to be happy, to find some sort of happiness, and to find things that interest you, whether it's learning about history, or learning, doing art, or being a mechanic, a plumber, an electrician, or becoming a nurse, a doctor, something, becoming a truck driver. There's a lot of things out there that we can focus on. And you can also look at life in a way kind of like how you play a video game. Not all games, but most of you will probably get this. I think you will. When you start off a video game, like for example, Skyrim, you start off with no skills, right? You get skill points like Skyrim, Fallout, Diablo, etc. And then you pick where you want your skills to go into. Whether, you want to be good at archery, or you want to be good with magic, or you want to be good at, close quarters combat. And that's the way I look at life. You start off with nothing, but then you focus on the things that interest you. And then you work your way up to it. You study it, you research it, you learn it. And it takes time, but if you keep doing it, whether it's becoming a truck driver or a pilot, or an artist, or even if you want to go into sports or acting or writing, or you want to eventually be like a manager, you want to go into business, it just takes time. You just got to get passionate about it. You got to focus on it. And so one of the other ways to get out of depression is to focus on things, to feel like you're actually doing something every single day, whether it's paying the bills or feeding the pets, or at least taking a shower and making sure you have good hygiene and brushing your teeth. So you just gotta, sometimes it's these small victories that you have to focus on, especially when that's all you have. And then you just take it from there, each step forward. It's a journey of 1,000 steps or a bazillion steps, but the only way is forward. So I hope that my rambling there about depression helps any of you out there that also deal with depression to various degrees. But just remember, you do have people in your lives, hopefully, that do care about you. And sometimes it's okay to lean on them, and be there for them as well whenever they're having tough, difficult times, because that's another thing that makes you feel good, helping other people. Because there are people that are in my life that I do help, not all the time, but whenever the need arises, I'll help them out. And it actually feels good to give. It actually feels good to help somebody out. Now, you don't want somebody like using you or, being like that, but it does feel good to give and to help those that you care about, whether it's family or friends. And it gives you a personal sense of worth as well. So, yeah, so just, you got to do it. You just got to keep going forward. And maybe there'll always be this degree of depression, but, there's also a lot of good in the world. And you will find a reason for it. It's not easy, but keep going forward, fight through the depression, and hopefully it'll all work out as it's meant to. And that's the way you got to accept it. That's the way I accept my life. Everything that's happened, the good, the bad, has been because that's the way it was meant to be. and you can either let it, kick you down and leave you in the mud, or you can get out of the mud and you can march through the mud, fighting your way through the mud until eventually you reach green pastures. And I hope that happens for all of you, that you all have better days ahead. And maybe we are living in trying times, but many other generations prior to ours have been through worse, like the greatest generation, during the time post the Great War, after the Roaring '20s, the Great Depression, the drought, the Dust Bowl, as well as World War II, the Cold War. Humanity can't survive, and so can you. The good times and the bad times, it all goes together. So you always got to take the good with the bad, but just keep marching forward. And thank you so much to all of you, my awesome viewers, subscribers, fans, mods, members, Super Chat heroes. You guys are the best. I'm very proud to have you as part of my community, whether on Discord or on YouTube. It really does mean a great deal to me to see your smiling faces and interact with you guys in the live streams and reading your comments in the videos as well as in Discord. And you guys really do inspire me to keep going. And even if I never end up being a huge channel, I feel like a huge channel because of all of you. And that's another way you got to look at it. It's all about the quality. Quality over quantity. And when it comes to you all, my viewers, my subscribers, my fans, my members, my mods, I've got the best quality when it comes to the GeauxBurns Nation. So thank you so much once again for all the questions. And thank you so much for subscribing to my channel, liking my videos, liking my live streams. And those of you that go above and beyond with super chats, as well as being members, whether it's junior members, elite members for either a month or for over a year now, it's always greatly appreciated, never, ever required. And I'm very humbled by all of you. And I hope that you will keep me humbled and not let it go to my head. Whether we're meant to just get to 15,000 or 150,000 or 150 bazillion. Y'all know that's never going to happen. But anyways, I think the next Q&A will probably wait till 15,000. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. Should I continue to do these every 1,000 subs, or should I start every 5,000 subs? I eagerly look forward to seeing what you think about that. If most of you feel like I should just keep doing it every 1,000 for Q&A, that's fine. It's entirely up to you guys, my awesome viewers, subscribers, and fans. And once again, thank you so much for watching all my content, my streams, as well as those of you that took the time to submit questions for Q&A 11K.